Hello, everyone. Today we have some intense geopolitical drama unfolding in 2026. Shocking news has just broken in the scorching Middle East. Uncle Sam was raining down missiles continuously for 2 straight weeks, and then suddenly pressed the stop button on airstrikes. But Iran isn't backing down an inch. They immediately moved to tighten their grip on the Strait of Hormuz oil valve, while bluntly declaring, "We are definitely not begging for talks." Wait, what on earth is going on behind the scenes? Join me as we decode this high-stakes game of chess right now. Going back to the bombing campaign, the U.S. unleashed fierce firepower for half a month. However, top military advisors at the Pentagon had to rush in to deliver an urgent report. First, most of the high-value strategic targets had already been destroyed or were no longer worth striking. Second, and most importantly, America's expensive missile stockpile was dropping to alarmingly low levels. The rapid consumption of air defense munitions pushed inventory near the red zone. Continuing to fire at this rate would be like a gamer running completely out of mana. Therefore, the halt on airstrikes was ordered as a tactical pause to conserve forces. The U.S. needed a breather to reload its arsenal and reassess the situation. The White House hoped this move would de-escalate the explosive tensions. But will Iran just sit quietly as their opponent backs off? As soon as the U.S. slowed its attacks, Tehran immediately pulled out its ace card, the Strait of Hormuz. This place is known as the maritime choke point, controlling up to 20% of the world's oil flow. Iranian forces claimed full control over all vessel traffic through the strait. Any ship deemed in violation was forced to make an immediate U-turn. Addressing rumors that Iran was quietly backing down to seek negotiations, their spokesperson fiercely denied them. They insisted, Iran begs no one, and their authority over Hormuz remains absolute. The message was crystal clear. Only when the U.S. stops its strikes will Iran cease its countermeasures. This situation has left global shipping floating in constant fear. The world's oil valve is temporarily locked in Tehran's hands, and every tiny turn of that valve sends shockwaves through the global economy. This was a masterclass in counterplay delivered by Iran. Right as news of the conflict intensified, global oil prices shot up like a rocket. But the moment news broke of the U.S. halting airstrikes, oil prices reversed into a sharp drop. This volatility has left everyone, from Wall Street investors to everyday consumers, on the edge of their seats. However, even as the main confrontation between the U.S. and Iran pauses, surrounding areas remain highly volatile. A wave of drone attacks continues across Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Iraq. Military bases throughout the region remain on the highest state of alert. It seems the conflict has only paused on paper, while underneath the table, proxy clashes haven't stopped for a second. The Middle East remains a volcano just waiting for a single spark to blow up again. Every country reliant on Middle Eastern oil is bearing the indirect risks. The economic and military chessboard right now is extremely fragile. Looking deeper into the core of this conflict, this is a classic game of chicken. Two drivers charging straight at each other. Whoever blinks or swerves first is labeled the loser. For the U.S., this step back is about regenerating mana, reloading ammo, and avoiding getting bogged down in a dangerous war of attrition. For Iran, standing firm at Hormuz is about maintaining leverage and proving they won't be crushed. Both sides are calculating every move to maintain balance on the brink of war. Neither wants an all-out military escalation, yet neither can afford to look weak. The diplomatic door remains barely ajar as deep mutual distrust persists. The halt on airstrikes is merely like pausing a ticking time bomb. This quiet phase might just be the deceptive calm before a much bigger storm. The world will have to watch every next move from these two hotheads very closely. Can the U.S. and Iran actually sit down at the negotiating table anytime soon? Or is this just a brief intermission before the flames of war ignite once more? What are your thoughts on this geopolitical game of chess? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest geopolitical breakdowns. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye, and see you in the next episode.